In a desperate attempt to save the parliament from falling into a deeper quagmire, the ruling party's floor leader made several compromise attempts, only to be met by strong rejection from the opposition party. Our political correspondent Kim Yeon-ji has more.
The ruling Saenuri Party's floor leader Lee Hahn-koo had several suggestions for overcoming the current impasse in parliament. First, he suggested drafting an amendment to President Park's government restructuring plan based on earlier negotiations between the ruling and opposition parties, and then putting the amendment up for a vote in a full assembly session. To overcome the main cause of the deadlock, the question of whether to transfer oversight of cable television system operators from the Korea Communications Commission to a new science ministry, Lee proposed introducing the original bill concerning the matter that the presidential transition team submitted to the parliament. Then, in what appeared to be a last-ditch effort, Lee suggested that the National Assembly Speaker introduce the stalled bills and call a vote. The Speaker of the legislature is not allowed to directly introduce a bill to a main session unless there is a natural disaster, a national emergency, or an agreement between the ruling and opposition party floor leaders. But Park Ki-chun, floor leader of the main opposition Democratic United Party, rejected the proposal, saying that the ruling party is just trying to railroad the passage of the original bill. This latest round of bickering comes after the DUP said the night before it would support the original bill if three conditions were met, including the tightening of hiring standards for high-level positions at public broadcasting companies and parliamentary hearings on last year's huge media walkout. The DUP said these conditions would ensure media neutrality, which is their main contention with the government restructuring bill. But the ruling party rejected the proposal, saying that it has nothing to do with the government restructuring plan. Although the ruling party has submitted a unilateral request for another extraordinary parliamentary session that would open on Friday, following the one that ended Tuesday, the DUP is not all that enthusiastic. The DUP says the two parties must conclude their negotiations and then hold a standalone session to process the bills. Meanwhile, the government has decided to hold meetings of senior presidential secretaries every day as a means to monitor state affairs, in a bid to minimize the impact of the current administrative vacuum. Kim Yeon-ji, Arirang News.